Good morning. Welcome to Local Talk. We appreciate Angela with the Granville County Tourism Department for airing the first edition of our Local Talk program here this morning. Local Talk with Angela. My name is Trey Snyder. Everything we do is recorded. You can head over to our website at nextdoorradio.com and also the Nextdoor Radio app available by the Google and Apple Store to find some more information about that. Miss Mary Wills Bode joins us here. She is running for NC Senate District 18. How are you today?
I am great. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me, Trey.
Absolutely. Welcome to the studio here in Oxford. Before we kind of dive deep into really why you're running for NC Senate, let's really introduce you as only you could, okay?
Okay, sure. So Mary Wills Bode here, Democratic candidate for Senate District 18. I tell people the best Senate district in North Carolina, a brand new open Senate seat in Northern Wake and all of Granville counties. So I'm a Wake County native, but a Granville County resident. Spent lots of time in Granville County growing up. My mom is from here. My grandparents were here just down the street, just a little bit down from the studio. I am a Wake Forest graduate, go Deeks, and a UNC law graduate. My area of practice is in finance, and I took a slight detour in 2018 to run a bipartisan nonprofit focused on redistricting reform. And yeah, I'm the youngest of three. I have two older brothers and 3 nephews and a niece, and I love to kayak and run and spend time down at the beach when I can, and that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Again, Mary Wills Bode joins us here by way of our Local Talk. This is Decision 2022. Of course, we have the video recording you can catch back on all of our social media outlets, YouTube, Instagram, a little bit of everything. My name is Trey Snyder, a part of Local Talk. So let's really run. Why are you running now?
Yeah.
Why the newly drawn District 18? But why are you running for NC Senate right now?
Sure. I love that question. I don't think it's one particular data point that really inspired me to step into the arena. My dad served in the military, and I've seen up close, he's a wounded veteran, Purple Heart, Silver Star, Bronze Star. I grew up understanding what service and commitment looks like through his military service and the sacrifices that he has made for our country. But I've also seen through my mom, who committed herself to a life of public service as well, former head of DHHS, pioneered Smart Start, early childhood education in our state, was an advocate for children and juvenile justice. So I grew up understanding the importance of service and commitment. And when I knew that there was going to be this open, highly competitive seat, I have just been eager to earn a seat at the table where decisions are being made about, a community I care deeply about. And I know there is so much opportunity across Northern Wake and Granville County, and I want to make sure that they have a strong advocate. And so that's what really inspired me to run, kind of basically that was it. And we've been running hard for the last, just about year now. And it's been amazing. I mean, I think we can all agree that the world feels a little bit uncertain right now. And that we can all agree that we can do better in our politics. But, we have had the most amazing support from across the political spectrum, because I think people are really interested in folks getting into office who want to deliver, but who also want to work in good faith. And, we talk a lot about polarization in politics, and I really don't think it's Democrat, Republican, urban, suburban, rural. I do think it's people who do want to work in good faith and people who aren't really as interested in that. And I think that's where the polarization in our politics is right now. And so I'm eager to work in good faith with whoever wants to work hard to deliver for Senate District 18, because I think that's what we really need right now.
Again, Mayor Wills Bode joins us here by way of our live in studio at Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trace Nod. She is running for District 18 for NC Senate. So talk a little bit about what do you want to see change? What do you, again, in good faith-wise, but what do you want to see changed inside of our local politicians?
Sure, absolutely. So I think there are a couple of things in terms of issues and policy positions. And we, I say all the time that none of these issues exist in a silo. I think our education system, we have got to really invest and think critically about COVID learning loss, teacher retention, mental health of our students. The pandemic really clarified where a lot of these gaps are in our education system. And I want to help. I want to walk alongside our education community and be an advocate in the legislature to make sure that we're getting all the resources we need. Because I really believe the most important investment that we make is in our students and our future. But look, it's not just about education, right? It's also about job creation, making sure that we recruit good paying jobs with companies who want to be community partners in Granville and Northern Wake, and watch us and walk alongside us as we continue to grow. And also to partner with our community college system and our high school system to make sure that we have the skills-based training that matches the needs of those employers. So regardless of when a student graduates from high school, whether they're going to college or career, they have a productive, purposeful pathway that they can follow. But I also think, our healthcare system, right? We can't have a strong workforce and strong economy if we don't have healthcare and people aren't healthy. And so making sure in North Carolina that we expand Medicaid, which will provide a lot of those mental health services that we desperately need. When I did a ride along with the Sheriff's Department, and we talked a lot about the mental health crises and what they're seeing, the substance abuse, the need for substance abuse treatment. So those are three things that are really top of mind, I think, here. And just given all the growth that's happening and projected to happen, making sure we have the infrastructure that we need and we're being proactive about whether that's water and sewer, highway, high-speed internet where I live. I don't have access to high-speed internet.
It's terrible.
And it creates a divide, those who are part of this economy and have that, what I call a digital safety net, whether that's the ability to get online to have a healthcare conversation with your physician, or, order what you need offline from Amazon, or any of them, a myriad of issues, or work remotely, obviously. I mean, it's just, there's so many things that are necessary to be able to fully engage, and high-speed internet is 100% one of them. And I live, less than 60 miles from the Capitol, and I don't have, not that should be a demarcation point, but it's, we got to do better on the high-speed internet front.
That's where Mayor Wills Bode joins us here by way of our live in studio for Decision 2022. She is running for District 18 NC Senate. So your experience through your career has led you to this point in your life where you say, I want to make a difference. Talk a little bit more about that experience as we wrap things up here this morning. Talk a little bit more about your experience that will allow you to make this a better seat, of course, for District 18. Sure.
So I spent almost 2 years working in redistricting reform, which is, how we to combat gerrymandering, whether particularly partisan gerrymandering. And I was asked to run this nonprofit And really the main reason, redistricting reform is sorely needed in North Carolina, sorely needed across the country. There's a lot of room for improvement. But what really drew me to the position and convinced me to say yes was that we were going to do it in a bipartisan way, a true bipartisan way. And I think learning how to work with folks, coalesce around a common goal, was so critically important for me. And really what I learned is that change can only happen as quickly as trust is built. And we've got a lot of work to do to build trust. Trust with, elected officials need to build trust with their constituents. And then folks who are being sent to the General Assembly really need to work hard to build trust with one another. And so, having that experience and understanding that we can move the ball forward on issues when we're willing to, get people in a room, really get focused and find common ground, that was just such a powerful experience for me and something that I am eager to translate over into elected office.
Fantastic, Ms. Bode. So we'd like to finish these, our Decision 2022 interviews over the last 2 minutes of just open up the floor.
Sure.
Anything that is on your mind that we haven't discussed today, and so we'd like to open up the floor to you as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the first thing is that everyone needs to vote. It's critically important that everyone exercise their right to vote, not just in this election, but in every election. There are a lot of important races on the ballot, and we are telling people to vote early. Make sure that they go to early voting, because if your registration is off or you thought you registered but you hadn't, you can still register to vote at early voting. But on election day, you can no longer register. So, right now in this part of the campaign, we're really transitioning, now almost to October. So we're really focused on get out the vote. I would just encourage everyone to, look up your ballot and educate yourselves on the candidates up and down the ballot, everything from U.S. Senate to your local elections, and just make sure you get out and vote, and that the people in your life that live near you in North Carolina are also doing the same.
Fantastic. Bode, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us here. Of course, you can catch the video by way of our social media and on our website at nextdoorradio.com. Of course, if you're listening live, timestamp right now is 10:34 a.m. here on a beautiful Wednesday in downtown Oxford. Thanks so much for joining us, okay?
Thank you.
Absolutely. My name is Trey Stein on behalf of Local Talk and Decision 2022. She is Mary Wills Bode. She is running for NC Senate District 18. You can find more information about her, of course, at www.bode4senate.com. Till next time, God bless. We'll see you later.